What's up, guys? Welcome to Badudina channel. What it's like to run a startup, myth versus reality. Let's go. I feel like one of the biggest misunderstandings and myth about startups is that if you work for yourself or you run your own company, you just don't work like 40 hours a week, 9 to 5 job, whatever. It is true. You don't work that much because you work usually way more hours than that. I know some founders that work not only 60 but almost 100 hours per week. I know it's crazy, but sometimes it is what is required in order to have some success. So here's a question to yourself to ask. Do you want to work 40 hours a week or 80 hours a week? If you're so passionate about things you want to do that you're ready to work 40 hours per week, then let's jump to the next myth. Another common thing that I hear often that in order to have successful startups, you have to raise money. It is not true. Yes, you will be required to have some money in your startup in order to operate on first stages. But the truth is to really understand if you need to raise money or not, to really understand if you have traction to your product, to really understand if you have market fit. You don't need much money for that. You can just spend some time to prepare maybe some MVP version, get everything in order, and just, realize what it takes and what is required for your product. For example, let's go with examples, right? If you want to start next food delivery company, right? Especially during pandemic right now when this video has been filmed, it is like really crazy topic. So many companies trying, some of the companies trying to pivot and start doing food delivery, and some other companies just trying to get into the space. So let's say that you want to do food delivery. What do you need? First of all, you actually need food, right? So probably you need menus from some restaurants in your neighborhood, let's say. Don't go like far away. You don't need to cover city by city or multiple cities. Just start small to see if things work. Then you probably need a car or some kind of vehicle to be able to actually deliver and transport the food. If it's like super close and you just want to work with people in your area, just you can walk probably, you can use your bicycle, it's that easy, right? So next, you actually need customers and you need some way to accept the orders. So you probably need some kind of website or form or a way to contact you. It can be as simple if you can create some websites, some platforms allow you to start as quick, like for example Wix.com, right? You can just create your website, I don't know, maybe in an hour, something like that. And there are some other platforms and possibilities to explore. You can simply create some Google form or just have your phone number to people to actually call you. That's it, it's that simple. And the final part, you need to people be able to find you. And if you're just starting with a certain small area, it can be as simple as you printing out, maybe even at your home, some brochures which says, here is new delivery company in your neighborhood, super fast, super cheap, super fresh. Call us today. Right? And you can walk by yourself or ask your friends to help you, go around your neighborhood, just couple blocks, just to verify if there is enough demand in this area to actually start something. It doesn't necessarily mean if you don't have demand in your area that you will not get demand in some other area for your product or service, but it just, you have to start somewhere before scaling. You can say, hey, if we tried it here, here, and here, and here, and here, and there was no traction, and we weren't able to find from people in different markets and different segments of demographics to find traction for our product, You can say that people will definitely want your product when you scale and go nationwide or even globally, right? It just doesn't make sense. You can just start with a small amount. You can maybe raise from your friends and family, just a little bit here, a little bit there. Just don't waste your resources and especially money at early stage of your startup. Every time you think about spending money, spending resources, ask yourself, is it really necessary? Do you need it right now? And will it help you to get to your goal? If not, then don't do it. It's that simple. If you're planning to start a startup, you don't have to raise money. You don't have to apply to accelerators. You don't have to give everyone share of your company. You're just starting out, right? Of course, you have to remember that it's okay to have your job, 9 to 5 job, or some other maybe part-time job, just to support your startup on early stages. You don't want to have any additional debt. If you do not have people who can support you financially, it is better if you have some financial buffer, I would say, just to bounce back and be calm, steady, and more confident in your decisions, right? Because if you don't have anything, from one side, some people would say, some people would argue, and if you think the opposite, just comment below that if you don't have nothing, you have nothing to lose, and this is the way to go. Another myth about operating a startup is that you need to raise so much money and you want money from everyone. You want to get and this and that and money from that person and money from investors, from accelerators, from crowdfunding. But here's the thing, not all money are good money for your startup. And I'll explain just in a moment what I actually mean by that. When you raise money, you give away, usually in most cases, right? If it's not credit, you give away a part of your startup. And by giving a part of the ownership, you in most cases give away an ability to influence your own company. What I mean by saying all this stuff, there are some investors that may be not suited for your company. They may not have any useful connections for your industry. They just may not care about it. And there are actually some investors who would just invest in some startups even though they don't see any potential, just for tax purposes. It is true, it happens. So for this reason, you need to be really careful choosing who you're raising money from, and be confident that that person will be able to help you with your startup in also somewhat other way, not only financial way, and will be actually interested in your startup success. So yeah, keep that in mind. Another popular mistake is that you're just too afraid to start pursuing your idea for your business, for your startup, simply because you're not sure about what to do. And the best answer to that is just start. Simply as that, it can be simplified even more. So yeah, it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to pivot from original idea to something else later on as you discover another potential, maybe in a market segment, or you discover some specific feature that can be a side feature. It doesn't necessarily mean changing your direction 180 degrees. Let's say, for example, that you're building a marketplace, and you build a marketplace for apartments, something like Airbnb, right? But later on, you discover that not only apartments worth renting, but maybe storage units. And people also want to rent out their storage unit and have some additional money. And for other people, it is just a very convenient way not to go to public storage or somewhere else, which can be located far away, and just go to a next door neighbor who is willing to rent out a part of his or her garage. So you have the same marketplace platform, but it just the use and application is a little bit different. In your core, in your operations, it may not mean a lot, but for outside perception of your company, it is a pivot. It is a change of direction, and it's completely okay to do that. If you discovered a new possibility for your company to make money, maybe you just found customers who really want this feature and like nothing else. Take care of your numbers. So just see the metrics and measure your progress. Look what is good, what's working, what's not working. The last but not the least advice from me personally, it's okay to fail. Some people, I know your startup is like your child, it's your business, and you just really wanted to succeed, right? But it just not always works, and it's okay. It's experience, as long as you learn from it and able to analyze what didn't go right, or maybe what steps you should have taken earlier, right? If maybe it's just timing is not right, and you just put it on a shelf, and in 5 years you'll just remember, and when the market is right, the opportunity is right, and maybe you have the right partners and co-founders, you're like, hey, I already have actually something prepared that we can quickly release and launch to the market. So this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to share as much as I can think of, at least right now. So if you have any more questions, comment below. I'll answer them all, I promise. At least the first couple hours from posting this video. So yeah, make sure to hit that like button and let me know, or dislike button, if you like it or not, so I understand what type of topics do you like the most and do you need to hear the most. So that's it for today. I continue sharing my videos about business and travel in the United States. So if you're interested, make sure to subscribe to this channel. See ya.